not going to speak for him, as he'll be joining his brothers in arms here in just a moment. Where is Lafayette?
Bonsoir, mes amis. Ah, monsieur, what a fine uniform you have. Tell me your name that I might greet you.
Captain Joseph Griffith, sir.
It is truly an honor and wonderful to meet you, monsieur. And I am thankful that you have traveled so far just to see me.
We were together at the Battle of Yorktown, half a lifetime ago.
Indeed, monsieur, I remember that battle well, and you all served so very well.
And we were all in the Virginia Brigade.
Ah, indeed, monsieur. I recall that war so very well and the noble acts of courage that were conducted. Monsieur, I thank you for your act of friendship and all that you have done for me.
Thank you, General. And on behalf of Virginians, we want to express our gratitude to you as our general, and as a Frenchman, and to our French compatriots, including General Rochambeau, Admiral de Grasse, and the thousands of French soldiers who fought alongside us. Without you, we would not have gained our independence, sir.
That means so much to me, my dear friend. You know, it was this cause of American freedom that prompted me to cross the great ocean and to land here in the United States of America, there to take part in this noble crusade. I am privileged. I am honored to have served in this great cause and the creation of this democratic society. Monsieur, let me shake your hand. Thank you.
Please make way for the General. Please make way for the General.
Ah, Monsieur l'Ambassadeur! Monsieur l'Ambassadeur! I thank you for this kind invitation into your lovely and warm home. Indeed, and to you, my dear friends, I must beg pardon for my late arrival. Much to the disappointment of my secretary, whenever there is an opportunity for me to meet with friends, old and new, I must do so. In fact, truth be told, I have just been meeting with friends of the Native American community, most notably the Choctaw and the Chickasaw. Indeed, many of you know my feelings towards the Native American. The fact that I was adopted by that of the Oneonta, the Oneida tribe, and they fought alongside us to help America win her independence. So I shall always have the highest regard for our Native American brothers. And
is that my dear friend Jobert?
I cannot believe it. James, is that you? I beg pardon, my dear friends. James, I have not seen you since 1784. Oh, how my heart is filled with joy to see you again, my dear friend.
That is mine.
James, why don't you tell our newfound friends how we met?
Well, during the war, I was owned by the man that was the head of the public warehouses in Virginia, and I brought supplies to the Marquis de Lafayette in the Continental Army. And then he made a very strange proposal.
James, you are being quite humble. You know, James, I always found you a very intelligent and resourceful man. And I felt back in 1781 that you were the perfect man for the job. And what was that job? To be a spy.
It took some convincing. But in the end, I agreed.
You did indeed, my friend. And the service you had provided for us was so important in the victory in the war. As I recall, you spied upon the turncoat, Benedict Arnold. Then, yes, voice your opinions. You see, it's still fresh upon their ears. Followed by that of General Phillips and ultimately Lord Cornwallis. And some of that information was vital in bringing us our victory at Yorktown.
Indeed, and well, after the war, you well, you continue to help me.
Indeed I did, my friend. You see, there was a promise made in 1784 upon the conclusion of the war that any enslaved person who had served in the Continental Army would be granted their freedom. Yet I returned and found you in chains. This did not sit well with me. I spoke with the Virginia legislature and wrote them a letter dated 21 November 1784 in which I expressed the great service you had done to this nation.
And it is because of that letter that I finally was able to gain my freedom. I have you to thank for that, Gilbert.
My dear friend, you honor me so by adopting my name of James Armistead Lafayette.
And I do it with honor, sir.
My friend, you know my views upon the deplorable institution of slavery. A man's destiny should not be defined by the color of their skin. We are free and equal together. We should possess these unalienable rights of life, liberty, property, the pursuit of happiness, and freedom from oppression. I have shared these views with my American friends, and I will, until my dying day, lend my voice, my right arm, my pen, and my purse to bring about an end to this horrible institution.
Efforts that I continue to appreciate.
Oh, my dear friend, how my heart is filled with joy to see you again.
Hello, sir, if I may?
Yes, of course, my friend.
It is so wonderful to meet you. So, sorry to interrupt, but I could not miss this opportunity to speak with you.
Oh, the pleasure is mine, my friend.
My name is Steve, and I work in international relations, and I know it's been years since you set foot in the United States, and during that time, both of our countries have flourished, and Europe has grown stronger and more unified. Peace reigned over the continent for nearly 80 years. It's been amazing, and I know you would appreciate this.
I do indeed. That is wonderful news to share with me. But you have said in 80 years. Has something occurred?
I'm afraid so. Unfortunately, war has returned to Europe, and it's been going on for about 2 years because of the Russian war of aggression, and the country of Ukraine and its people have been fighting to maintain their independence. Now, sir, you have witnessed, you have influenced so much history. Is there something based on your own experience that you can advise us that would help guide us today?
It breaks my heart to hear that war has returned to Europe again, my friend, but what you speak of reminds me of an episode during my life in which the Russian government was encroaching upon the sovereignty of Poland. And of course, I lent my service to fight for their liberty, and in fact, it was alongside a great patriot from Poland who had fought with me during the American Revolution, Thaddeus Kościuszko. He and I, friends together, made our attempts to free Poland from this tyranny.
I've read about this episode, yes.
Indeed, my friend, it saddens me to think that another nation might encroach upon the rights of a sovereign nation and dictate rule before them. I believe in the freedom of the people, the security of the nation, and I believe that we must continue to fight for these liberties, and I am of the opinion that Europe should be involved as well. You know, my friends, it is so important to me that we can do away with these invasions, with the loss of people's rights, and have a free and independent nation without worry of other nations encroaching upon it.
Thank you, dear sir.
It is my pleasure. My dear friends, the two greatest honors that I hold are that of veteran of the Continental Army and adopted son of the United States of America. My friends, I am honored to have been at the birth of this union between these two nations. I am reminded of the 6th of February, 1778, when the Treaty of Alliance was signed, in which France would be the first nation to recognize the United States of America as its own free and independent nation, and that paved the way for victory, and America would achieve its independence. I am pleased that upon my return, this union still remains ever strong. And I am of the firm opinion that Americans and Frenchmen working together, can change the world.